The secret that everyone knows is finally out.
Oh, you mean the not so secret secret?
Pretty much.
All right.
That Brent is still a player.
And Ashley had no business in the first place being on this show.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts.
Today we're going to be talking about TV One's reality-based TV series, The One, season number 1, episode number 13.
But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new content, and like and subscribe and send us your comments because it will help us in the algorithm. And we thank you and appreciate you for your support. So here we go. Ashley and Brent in Ashley's room and they're chatting it up.
Yeah,
Brent said that he is nervous.
right. Yeah, he said that he didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but he honestly doesn't know which way he's leaning or whom he's leaning towards.
But I think the truth of the thing is Brent is nervous, but Junior, not so much. Because Junior gonna get what Junior gonna get.
Whatever decision is made, he's smooth with
Now, Ashley, what did she say?
it. Ashley says she wants to take both of them home.
She likes both of them. She wants to be with both of them, so she's confused.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time for this particular season.
I think Ashley's confusion is based on what she admitted. She may not have a full grasp on who she is, so
Okay, all
hence
right.
the confusion.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably factors into the equation.
Right.
Yep.
The cast members in the kitchen, Richie and Ashley, Jay and Abe and Matthew. Before Matthew and Abe came through, Ashley, Jay, and Richie were encouraging themselves.
Yeah, trying to be supportive of one another, no matter what the outcome is,
Right.
no matter what decisions are made by both Brent and Ashley.
Matthew came through and he said he feels like what is slipping. Is that what the brother said?
Yeah, he felt like the opportunity for him to, I guess, separate himself as the potential one for Ashley is slipping away from him.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's right. That's how I processed it.
There was a wine bottle on the counter, and he's looking at this wine bottle as if it's his next best friend. Did somebody tell him to
Yeah, like
look
there was a little angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other, and the devil was like, "Man, why don't you go ahead and do this, man?
I mean,
Why
oh
don't you go
my
ahead,
God,
man? Go ahead, and take a
please.
sip, man. Ain't no problem, ain't no
And
pressure."
they try to create this full drama. Anybody who does not drink is not going to have a bottle in their hand staring at it like that. Did not make any sense whatsoever. So Dr. Sherry came through with
Right.
Tammy and Kirk.
Yep, yep.
And this is the best part of the show for me. Dr. Sherry should have been part of casting to really go through these couples to see if they're ready or not. Because had she been on board with casting, Ashley probably would not be on the show and she would have kept Brent out as well.
And we would have spent a whole lot less time kind of criticizing, what seems to be fairly obvious about, about who was selected and, maybe their motivation for being on the show.
Dr. Sherry, she cut to the quick. She asked, "What makes you feel like you're the one?" She asked the cast members that.
You're right.
Richie talked about she's deserving of it. She feels like she has done the work. Her connection with Brent was unexpected. Her firstborn will co-sign her wanting to be with Brent.
Yeah, she says also too, if I can recall correctly, that she feels like she's finally met her man. Let that one marinate on.
And Ashley J had a whole lot of stuff to say, talking but not saying anything. But when Dr. Sherry refocused her
Rambling. She said it's been an internal journey that she's learned a lot about herself on, and that she kind of feels like at this point in her life that she's ready to take that next step, if you will. A lot of philosophical vagisms, shall we say?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we already got that part of it.
Abe said the more he gets to know Ashley,
The
the
more
more
he
he
wants
wants
to
to
know
know.
her.
Now
Yeah.
that sounds like a man to me. just coloring just the edges. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to reveal too much.
Yeah.
That's what. Am I wrong?
No, I think that's about accurate. I think that's about accurate. And then Matthew, yeah.
Matthew, what did he say?
Matthew said that he's done all that he can do, and if Ashley is truly the lady who's intended for him, then God will reveal it.
Giving it to his higher power.
Right. This is going to be something that God handles, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, then He knows that that wasn't supposed to be.
Right. So Dr.
Sherry.
She wanted Ashley and Brent to talk to them individually. And
Yeah.
first up was Brent. And she asked him how he's doing. He said he's doing fine, or yada yada yada. The
Yeah, and
process.
he says he's overall he's enjoyed the experience,
Yes.
and that he still has, despite going through this process, trust issues.
She's seen that ish before on her counseling couch.
Oh yeah.
She's seen that.
Yeah.
So she knows the kind of brother
Nah, brother. So basically, she gave him, "Why you capping, look?
she
Why
give
you
him one of
capping?"
these little side dainty side eyes,
Right,
but
right.
side not eye
Yeah,
nonetheless.
translation. Come on, bro. We
And
too
then
old for this.
she
We
asked,
too old for
"What
this.
are you trying to get out of this?" He said, he's trying to, he wants to, someone who he could be
His partner, right?
long term
Yeah,
with.
partner.
Now, long term to me sounds sort of like
Companion.
so flexible. I don't know what your long term is.
Mm.
Long term for me could be 5 minutes because I have my challenges with patience. So what's the time schedule on his long
I
term?
can't speak for that brother.
Sound like Junior answer that question.
And whispering in his ear.
Oh, Junior answer that. Yes,
Say this and that. Yeah.
long term.
Yeah. Okay, right.
Keep the game going.
Yeah. It was just, oh man.
And then we find out he has a problem with trust.
Mm-hmm.
Do you trust? Do you have an issue? He said, "Yeah, I have an issue." Then she nailed him down. She asked, "Well, have you discussed finances?" He said, "Oh, I'm the breadwinner or what have you." Oh, doctors came back, "Oh, that's fine and good, but have you discussed something as important as finance? Because as far as we know, it's finance, sex, and communication are the major things that can really mess what you got going on at the house out.
The three-legged stool.
You
That's
better
relationship
believe it.
stool. Yeah.
So he hasn't discussed finance. He doesn't know what either of the ladies are bringing to the table.
Right, and he also has not discussed through his admission to Dr. Sherry, that he hadn't discussed sex with either lady.
Because
Now that's kind of strange to me because especially like during that photo shoot, he had his hands all over the place. He had his hands in
and
the backyard and all of that.
not only that, when he met them initially, first thing out the gate for him was letting them know that who wants to participate in threesomes
Yeah, right.
because he thought that was a good idea in a marriage.
Yeah, because quite frankly, I'm a freaky deaky brother.
Yeah,
But I don't understand why he would say that unless he was capping again.
could say that because it's pleasurable for him not only sign up, but whether the stranger coming in gonna turn whoever he has so that their interest moves from him
Right.
to somebody
To
else.
somebody else.
So you
Oh.
better be careful for what you're signing up for.
Right.
So he said in his confessional that he can't discuss that so early because you don't want to scare people.
So he sidestepped it. It's like, well, damn, when you gonna talk about it?
Again, Junior is having this conversation.
Well, Junior was busy this episode, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Junior got to protect his, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Junior like, man, just trust a brother, man. Just listen to me. I got your back.
Now we get to Ashley.
Yeah.
And Ashley is all clear-eyed now because she can't fool an expert who's been doing this for years.
Yeah, and she
So
said,
she came with the truth serum now.
oh, well, she did say that she wanted somebody who was emotionally stable because she damn sure wasn't. because
But
she
when
was
the therapist asked, so how do you identify that? And she said, I don't know
because
because
I'm
I'm
not.
not emotionally stable.
If you're not, then how do you identify somebody who is?
Right. And this is when she said that she didn't like how she showed up in the show. She was wishy-washy. She
She
couldn't
was.
keep focus. She has come to the understanding that, she may not have a full understanding of who she is because every decision she has been making has not been on point.
Yeah, and speaking of decisions, I think she referenced, if I'm correct, the encounter, shall we say,
Hmm.
that she had with Matthew
Hmm.
earlier on in the process, and I think she has uh, left, I guess, that particular encounter more confused than she went in
She feels that Matthew may have some play in him as well and may have lied to her a time or two or three.
regarding the drinking aspect of this.
Maybe so.
Okay,
But we don't know of their conversations, if
right,
you know what I mean.
right.
But something happened between both of them that sort of put her off kilter altogether.
Pause from her standpoint.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And she's wise enough because she's in front of the therapist to say, hey, you know what? I'm not making good decisions. I don't even understand what's happening to me right now.
okay.
And I may not really know who I am.
I would
That
think so.
awareness alone has to be both healing and big for her.
Even though it's coming at this point in the process.
Even though it's coming at this time in the process, that's why I said at the beginning that a doctor like Dr. Sherry should
Should
have
be.
been part of casting
Uh-huh.
because she would have been able to clear a whole lot of this
Weed
ish
out the,
out
yeah.
and know Ashley was not ready and know that Brent is a player because Brent said that one woman cannot satisfy him.
He did say that a few episodes ago.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Right, I know.
So when did that change?
Well, Brent chose Ashley J to continue relationship. She is the one as far as he is concerned.
And why is that?
From my vantage point,
Yeah.
it's because Ashley J is a little younger than he is, and not necessarily as mature. And I feel like he sees her as somebody that he can control and or manipulate to get her to kind of go along with um, whatever direction that he wants them to go as a unit.
I think you're exactly right. I think Ashley J for him was low lying fruit. He could manipulate her as much as he likes. But Richie, on the other hand, he may have some complications. She may have to raise her voice a time or two or three. And the brother already talked about women getting angry.
Yeah, I think Brent was very much more comfortable with the age disparity between Ashley J than the age disparity between him and Richie. Richie's much closer to his age, and I think would be far less tolerant of the BS that she would be fed by Brent.
Yeah, Richie is gonna keep him accountable, and she's gonna, check him when he needs to be checked, and he doesn't have time for that because one of the things that he said was his non-negotiable is people getting angry, and he must understand people don't get angry by themselves. You must have done something to get someone angry, and he got to put in the work with Richie because it's not a matter of the baby situation. Richie claimed that she froze her eggs,
Mhm.
so that wasn't going to be a problem.
Right, and
But
she,
the accountability would be too hard for him to always, come to that dotted line,
yeah,
and that's what I personally think why he chose Ashley J. And Ashley J, I don't know why she thinks it's cause for celebration because she said her non-negotiables is infidelity. And brother Brent got to deal with Junior. Junior has taken him places.
Always ready to get into something. Ain't he? Brent chose, what who he chose, and it'll be interesting to see if they're still together at the reunion and and if so, how their relationship is progressing. Because the reality of it is that not only does he have to deal with her, but he also has to deal with her 15-year-old son now, and so I don't know if he is ready for that.
I don't think Brent is ready for that because if he was, he would have come in like that. A man prepared and looking. He would not have come in with all these little side things. Imagine a man telling a woman, who newly formed a relationship, I like the company of multiple people and I want you to experience that with me. I don't think how that's gonna work in any situation unless that person is equally as freaky deaky as he is. We
Agree.
move on to Miss Ashley. And of course there were the waterworks, but she said she wants to choose herself. She wants to, as she said earlier, she wants to be with both of them. So the best decision she could make is herself simply because she said she's not been making the right decisions. So
Okay.
at least there's that. But you also have to wonder, why did they all waste our time?
Right.
This
And
stuff could have been taken care of in casting.
she wasted our time as viewers. She wasted her other cast members' times, and especially Aid and Matthew.
The show is gonna have a reunion. I'm not sure what sense that makes. There's no meat on the bones for them to have a reunion, but that's again my opinion. I thought that the show had legs, but I don't think they produced it well. Neither did they do the necessary vetting of the people before they came on the show.
It was underwhelming to me, but progressively so. The further that we went, the less and less credible it seemed to be, for me.
Right.
And it just was, oh, come on, man, this is not believable anymore. So,
Went, I thought that Tammy and Kurt would be checking people, but Tammy didn't check. Ashley was sliding. They should have inserted Dr.
Dr. Sher.
sooner than the last episode.
Obviously, Tammy has a whole lot more experience that she could offer, to somebody like Ashley who hasn't gone down the road, hadn't gone down this road trying to find the one. And I just think that at least on camera, it could have been something that was implemented a lot more so that Ashley could have been maybe more in a different place there where she was more decisive.
Yeah. If I could recast this, the show should have been
Hmm. Because
Richie and Abe because they would offer up a more prepared, a more fully adjusted human, knowing who they are and advancing forward than what we saw.
so if I'm understanding you correctly, you kind of perceive them as being a little bit more mature and or ready to
Yes.
find to find the one than
Yes.
maybe Brent and Ashley were.
Yes.